Namaskar students. Myself, Dr. Kirti Joshi, Assistant Professor, Food and Biotech Department. And this session is about different research designs part second. In previous slides, we discussed about descriptive studies and cross-sectional studies. Now further new research designs we discussed in these slides. Third one is coherent study. Group by common characteristics. Start with a group of subjects who lack a positive history of outcome of interest yet are at risk of it coherent. Think of going from cause to effect. The exposure of interest is determined for each member of the coherent and the group is followed to document incidents in the exposed and unexposed members. What is a coherent study? Warranted when good evidence suggests an association of a disease with a certain exposure or exposures. Coherent effect changes the variation in the disease or health status of a steady population as the steady group moves through time, and it's a generation effect. Types of coherent study: it must be perspective or concurrent, retrospective yani history, restricted or restricted exposures. First, we discuss about perspective coherent studies. Coherent characterized by determination of exposure levels, exposed versus not exposed at baseline or present, and followed for occurrence of disease in future. Groups move through time as they age. Retrospective makes use of historical data to determine exposure level at some baseline in the past and then determine subsequent disease status in the present. Restricted, limited exposure, narrow behavior, example military. Perspective studies, also called longitudinal, concurrent, incident studies, looking into the future, example study of coronary heart diseases, that is CHD. Design of coherent experiments. The essential characteristics in the design of coherent studies is the comparison of outcome in an exposed group and a non-exposed group, or a group with a certain characteristics and a group with care at that characteristics. A steady population can be chosen by selecting groups of inclusions in the study or the base of whether or not they are exposed. Selection of coherent groups. There are two basic ways to generate coherent groups. Select a coherent defined population before any of its members become exposed or before the exposure are identified. Select a coherent on the basis of some factors, that is where they live, and take histories, that is blood test, on the entire population to separate into exposed and non-exposed groups. Regardless of which selection approach is used, we are comparing exposed and non-exposed persons. Advantages of coherent studies: large sample size, certain disease or risk factor targeted can be used to prove cause effect, assess magnitude of risk, baseline of rates, number and proportion of cases that can be prevented. Advantages of coherent studies: completeness and accuracy, opportunity to avoid condition being steady, quality of data is high, considers seasonal and other variations over a long period, tracks effects of aging process. Disadvantages of coherent studies: large steady populations required, not easy to find subjects, expensive, unpredictable variables, results not extrapolated or general population, steady results are limited, time consuming, results are delayed, requires rigid design and conditions. Subjects lost over time, or we can say dropouts. Costs are high, logistically demanding. Maintaining quality, validity, accuracy, and reliability can be a problem. This session is about different research designs, part third. In previous slides, we study about the research design like descriptive studies and diagnostic research, cross-sectional studies, and coherent studies. In these slides, we study about remaining study designs. So we discuss about fourth one, case control study. It is frequently used study design. Participants selected on the basis of whether or not they are diseased. Member in a coherent study, participants are selected based on exposure status. Those who are diseased are called cases. Those who are not diseased are called controls. So there are two types of group: subjects with outcome of interest, and the second one is appropriate control group without outcome of interest, and they both are measure factors and then compare factors. Case control design advantages: valuable for studying rare conditions, short duration, relatively expensive design, relatively smaller sample needs, yield old ratio, usually a good approximations of relative risk. And disadvantages of the study: these are limited to one outcome variable, potential bias from selection of cases and controls, does not establish sequence of events, potential bias in measuring exposure, potential survivor bias, does not yield absolute risk estimations. Now next study is randomized controlled trials. These are, in these cases, there is similar group of individuals from same source population are allocated at random to receive or not to receive an intervention, then observed or occurrence of outcomes. There is the gold standard of research design. They thus provide the most convincing evidence of relationship between exposure and effects. For example, trials of hormone replacement therapy in menopausal women. Now, advantages. First, compatibility due to randomization and some effect of known and unknown confounders gets eliminated. Experiments provide strong evidence of cases and effects, allows standardization of eligibility criteria, maneuver and outcome assessment, allows use to statistical methods with few inbuilt assumptions. Now, disadvantages: they may be expensive in terms of time, money, and people. Many research questions are not suitable due to ethics, likely to cooperate, or rarely of outcomes. To a greater or lesser extent, RCT tends to be an artificial situation. Next one is survey research. Survey research is often used to assess thoughts, opinions, and feelings. Psychologists and sociologists often use survey research to analyze behavior, while it is also used to meet the more pragmatic need of the media, such as in evaluating political candidates, public health officials, professional organizations, and advertising and marketing directors. A survey consists of a predetermined set of questions that is given to a sample. The design consists of evaluation, comparative, short-term, long-term, longitudinal, cross-sectional, or cross-cultural. Planning a survey, deciding on a research questions, choosing the format of your questions, choosing the format of your interview if you are use an interview schedule, editing your questions, sequencing your questions, refining your survey instruments, choosing a sampling strategy. Survey research should carefully construct the order of questions in a questionnaire. Seventh one is case study. Exposure in depth a program, event, activity, process, or one or more individuals, bounded, separate out of research by time, place, and activity. Researcher collects detailed information using a variety of data collection procedures over a sustained period of time, a method of learning about a complex instance based on a comprehensive understanding of that instance obtained by extensive description and analysis of that instance taken as whole. Case study reports, detailed presentation of a case or handful of cases, generally report a new or unique findings, example, previous undescribed disease or unexpected link between diseases or unexpected new therapeutic effects or advanced events. Experience of a group of patients with a similar diagnosis, assess prevalent disease. Cases may be identified from a single or multiple sources, generally report a new unique condition, may be only realistic design for a rare disorders. Now, advantages of case study. It is useful for hypothesis generation, informative for very rare disease and with few established risk factors, characterized average for disorder. Disadvantages of the case study: can't study cause and effect relationship, can't assess disease frequency. Thank you. This disease digital session powered by Digital Version 2.0 JV University. Hope you are satisfied with my digital sessions. Thank you.